Hello and welcome back to my TransAmerica Trail Adventure Across America series. In part 8, I found myself soaked on a near constant basis, but when the rain let up, the spectacular views of the Colorado backcountry were revealed. I met some amazing people along the way and found some pretty cool spots to explore.
Standing in the fire, just to feel alive.
I woke up early and hopped on the trail. The plan was to finish out the Colorado section of the Tap that day, so I need to get a lot of riding under my belt. The roads were a little chewed up from all the rain, but then again, a lot of the roads were rather sketchy regardless of the weather. The rocks and loose dirt made these sections of the trail pretty fun to ride. The difficult terrain always kept you on your toes, but never seemed overwhelming. Honestly, the hardest part of riding these back roads was keeping your eyes on the trail and not getting distracted by all the cool views off in the distance. Sections of the Colorado Tap made me feel like I'd gone back in time nearly 50 years, with the vast green farms that stretched for countless miles and the old-timey gas pumps that were far and few in between. The temperature definitely ramped up as I made my way to the southern portion of Colorado, which is where I ran into some fellow Tap riders who were taking a break to cool off. It was fun chatting with John and Henry, but our time was limited as we were heading in different directions. We did, however, swap numbers and keep each other updated on our progress throughout the trip, which was a huge motivational factor. I rode for the rest of the day as I was so close to the New Mexico border and wanted to finish out Colorado. I got about 8 hours of saddle time in and was exhausted as I crossed the finish line. But now I was faced with another problem. It was a Friday night, and all the hotels and campsites within 100 miles were booked. I was forced to ride another hour and a half high into the mountains to find refuge as the sun sank behind the hills. I set up my tent smack dab in the middle of the forest, and within seconds of climbing in, I got caught in another nasty storm. This one was terrifying between the high winds, thunder, and downpour. I didn't know if I was going to get struck by lightning, crushed by a tree, or swept away in a mudslide.
Oh my god.
Luckily, my time card didn't get punched, and I woke up in what looked like an enchanted forest as the fog hovered just above the tree line. I got my morning chores done, which included downloading my SD cards, making some morning brew, and packing up the soaking wet, muddy tent. I hopped back on my bike and cut through the spooky forest. This time I wasn't heading back to the Tat, but instead backtracking north through Colorado and slowly making my way to Colorado Springs to meet a special somebody. I took advantage of some free water from a nearby campsite, which actually proved to be a ginormous struggle. This is one of those key moments where having a riding buddy would be very beneficial, but what I lack in preparation, I make up for in determination. As I descended from the mountains, the fog eventually began to give way. It was now time to hop on the road and start covering some real distance. I rode for a few hours, always on the lookout for the next storm that seemed to be hunting me down, but I got to my destination dry for once. I set up camp and decided to go for a hike and explore my surroundings. Colorado did excel in the area of natural beauty and wildlife. It was nice to not be on such a tight schedule, allowing me to enjoy all that this state had to offer. The next morning, I enjoyed every last second of being out in nature before hopping on the road and making my way back into civilization. After a few hours on the highway, I made it to Colorado Springs, which was a huge change of pace to say the least, but I looked forward to enjoying a motel room for the night. After a wonderful night's sleep on a real bed with my stomach full of Taco Bell, I hopped on the bike to swing by the airport. My visitor flew all the way from California to join me for some adventuring, but you'll have to check out part 10 to see who it is. Thank you so much for watching part 9 of my TransAmerica Trail Adventure Across America series. In part 10, I take some well-deserved time off in order to explore Colorado with my new adventure companion. See you there!